The Insta360 Go Ultra and the Ace Pro 2 are currently on sale and have never been cheaper than they are now. That's why it makes sense to take a look at how these two action cameras stack up in a direct comparison with the new Luna Ultra. Sure, they're completely different cameras. Still, depending on the situation, it might not be easy to choose between them. All of them are great for vlogging, vacation recordings, or simply as a camera for the family and for travel. That's why I'd like to primarily show you a series of longer comparison clips so you can see the difference in image quality. At the end I'll tell you which camera I'd recommend to whom, which one I'd prefer between the Ace Pro 2 and the Go Ultra, and of course what prices and special offers are currently available. But first I'd like to show you how the three cameras compare in terms of size and what the fundamental differences are. The Luna Ultra is of course by far the biggest and heaviest camera in this comparison. In a direct comparison with the Ace Pro 2, however, the difference doesn't seem all that significant. Especially when it comes to weight, the difference isn't that relevant. It's a different story, of course, when compared to the Go Ultra. At 53 grams, the Go Ultra weighs almost just 1/5 as much as the Luna Ultra. Its compact form factor is, of course, the Go Ultra's biggest strength. But perhaps the biggest difference between the Luna Ultra and the two action cameras is that the Luna Ultra uses a gimbal for stabilization, while the Ace Pro 2 and the Go Ultra stabilize footage purely electronically. Both methods work well, but the gimbal has a few very specific strengths and weaknesses that account for the biggest differences between these cameras. The gimbal not only stabilizes footage well in good lighting, but it also provides excellent stabilization in low light conditions. The electronic image stabilization on the other two action cameras, however, has its limitations in low light. With a gimbal, you can capture cinematic footage at the optimal shutter speed, and what's particularly interesting, you can have the camera automatically track you or another subject. You can simply set up the Luna Ultra somewhere, for example on a tripod or this handy throw pod, and let it track you. This doesn't work with the Ace Pro 2 or the Go Ultra, and tracking is a particularly important advantage, especially for solo creators. But the gimbal also has drawbacks. In my opinion, the biggest drawback is that it makes the camera more fragile. It's obviously not waterproof and should always be properly protected. Even using it at the beach can quickly become problematic if the camera falls into the sand. In contrast, the Ace Pro 2 and the Go Ultra are rugged and waterproof up to 12 or 10 meters even without an additional case. This, of course, offers significant advantages when using the camera for family outings or vacations. On top of that, you can mount both action cameras just about anywhere. This is especially true for the compact Go Ultra. But the Luna Ultra also has another advantage. It doesn't just have one camera and one lens. In addition to a wide-angle lens, it also has a telephoto lens. This naturally gives you significantly more flexibility in terms of focal length and enables a whole different kind of shot. On top of that, there is the outstanding image quality. So let's take a look at a few longer comparison shots. At 1 inch, the sensor of the Luna Ultra's wide-angle camera is clearly larger than the sensors of the Ace Pro 2 and the Go Ultra, which measure 1/1.3 inches and 1/1.28 inches respectively. Interestingly, the sensor of the Luna Ultra's telephoto lens at 1/1.3 inches is the same size as the Ace Pro 2 sensor. I'll show you a few more comparison shots taken with the telephoto lens, but I shot most of the footage for this video using the Luna Ultra's wide-angle main lens. And as you can see, even the Luna Ultra's wide-angle lens isn't as wide as the lenses on the Go Ultra and the Ace Pro 2. I find that a very wide field of view is especially advantageous for vlogging, and for my taste, the field of view of the Luna Ultra's wide-angle lens is a bit too narrow. Although at 20mm it has a field of view that's generally considered optimal for vlogging, I personally prefer to show a bit more of the landscape. That's also why I usually use the Luna Ultra on a curved selfie stick, the multi-mount from Insta360, which I also used for these comparison shots. However, there is also an ultra-wide lens attachment for the Luna Ultra that's included in the creator bundle. You can simply attach it magnetically to the main lens and it works well. My biggest problem with the ultra-wide lens is that it's very small and extremely easy to lose. All three cameras can then record using only a smaller portion of the sensor, which allows for a 2x digital crop without significant loss of quality. And then of course the Luna Ultra also features the 3x telephoto lens with a 60mm focal length. This opens up possibilities you don't have with an action camera. By that, I don't so much mean getting closer to subjects, but rather that the 60mm telephoto lens is very well suited for portrait shots. That is close-ups of faces, simply because it produces significantly less distortion. Sure, you can simply get closer with the two action cameras, but the severe distortion from the wide-angle lenses doesn't lead to optimal results when taking close-ups of faces. On top of that, the Luna Ultra's telephoto lens also has a relatively short minimum focusing distance. That means you can take macro-like close-ups, something that's only possible to a limited extent with the two action cameras. Although there are close-up lenses available for the Ace Pro 2 and the Go Ultra, it's obviously not the same thing. And that's partly because of another very important difference between the Luna Ultra and the two action cameras. Unlike the Ace Pro 2 and the Go Ultra, the Luna Ultra does not have a fixed focus. It features an efficient autofocus system that can focus on subjects even at very close range. Combined with the relatively wide f1.8 aperture, this results in a very beautiful and cinematic look. The background becomes blurred, and the Luna Ultra's footage looks very soft and high quality. With the Go Ultra and the Ace Pro 2, the focus is fixed at infinity. For an action camera, that makes sense. As a result, everything is in focus and looks sharp. This doesn't really allow for truly cinematic shots. And speaking of sharpness, once you get used to the Luna Ultra's footage, the footage from the two action cameras looks very sharp and digital. You can further reduce the sharpness on all three cameras if you're aiming for a softer, more cinematic look. And the Luna Ultra has another interesting feature. It's the only one of the three cameras that offers a 10-bit log profile. Shooting in log also results in a very soft, high-quality look. Another useful feature is that when shooting in log with the Luna Ultra, you can apply a filter directly in the camera, so you aren't forced to edit the log footage yourself. A few weeks ago, I made a video similar to this one, but focused on the DJI Pocket 4 and the Action 6. Aside from the fact that the Pocket 4 doesn't have a telephoto lens, the differences were, of course, quite similar. What struck me about that video was that based on the comparison footage, many users preferred the footage from the action camera. And while the recordings from the Go Ultra and the Ace Pro 2 looks very good, I think that in these comparison clips on YouTube, the strengths of pocket cameras like the Luna Ultra and the benefits of background blur and that cinematic look don't really come across. The Luna Ultra and the Ace Pro 2 can also shoot in 8K. Personally though, that's not that important to me, since 8K footage also has a number of drawbacks. That said, the Go Ultra and the Ace Pro 2 also hold their own very well in terms of dynamic range. I'd even say that overall, they preserve highlights slightly better than the Luna Ultra. This is because relatively strong HDR processing is applied in the background. If needed, you can also disable the HDR function on both cameras. Aside from that, I'd say that the Luna Ultra's recordings are often exposed slightly brighter. There are also differences in color. The Ace Pro 2 in particular uses more magenta tones, which is noticeable in skin tones. Overall, all the cameras take good, beautiful shots. But if I were to consider image quality alone, I would personally prefer the Luna Ultra. As I mentioned, it simply produces a higher quality, more cinematic image. And of course, the Luna Ultra has advantages in low light conditions simply because of its larger sensor. While the Ace Pro 2 and the Go Ultra are very close in performance in low light, the Luna Ultra really shines here. It's worth noting that it's extremely dark here and that the two action cameras still produce acceptable footage. Normally, you shouldn't be filming under these conditions. But to help you see the differences more clearly, I deliberately took these recordings under very poor conditions. The Luna Ultra's footage has visibly less image noise, better colors and more detail. And the gimbal offers particular advantages in these lighting conditions, since the stabilization works well regardless of the lighting. The gimbal also has advantages when we do a proper stabilization comparison in daylight. This is even a comparison with the Go Ultra stabilization set to high. The Luna Ultra is better at compensating for particularly strong movements. But, and this needs to be said, the gimbal can compensate for up and down movements, such as those that occur while running or walking, as well as the highly efficient electronic stabilization of the Ace Pro 2 and the Go Ultra. While vlogging, the footage looks a bit more jerky than that from the two action cameras. The Go Ultras and Ace Pro 2's extremely wide field of view is of course an advantage in this context. Now we've looked at the most important differences in stabilization and image quality. There are of course a multitude of other differences, but I'd like to point out one very special one. The Luna Ultra screen can be detached along with the buttons and used as a remote. This is extremely useful, especially for those who frequently film themselves. But the Go Ultra also has a similar advantage. The Action Pod, which isn't just a charging station but also features a flip-up screen, can be used as a remote with a screen for the Go Ultra. This feature is therefore only missing on the Ace Pro 2, which just like the Go Ultra has a flip-up screen. Before we get to the prices and deals, which of the two action cameras would I personally prefer? For me, the answer is pretty clear. I'd recommend the Go Ultra to 9 out of 10 users. The combination of the camera and action pod we just just saw, the very compact form factor, the magnetic back, all of these are major advantages. And even though we've mainly highlighted the Luna Ultra's excellent image quality today, the Go Ultra is one of my absolute favorite cameras. And you'll love it too. The Go Ultra's shots look very similar to those of the Ace Pro 2 in a direct comparison. Perhaps the Ace Pro 2 uses slightly more magenta tones. I'd only go with the Ace Pro 2 if you frequently want to shoot underwater and need a screen for that, since the action pod isn't completely waterproof. Or if slow motion footage is very important to you, since on the Go Ultra you have to reduce the resolution to 2.7K to shoot at 120 frames per second. And then of course there's the price. That's certainly one of the Luna Ultra's key drawbacks in this comparison. It's not cheap. It currently costs $770 in the US and 730 euros in Europe. Both action cameras are currently on sale and significantly cheaper. The Go Ultra costs $355 and the Ace Pro 2 costs $310. In Europe, both cost the same, 339 euros. These are excellent prices and there's a special offer available for all three cameras. If you use the links in the description, you'll receive a useful accessory as a free gift with all three cameras. For the Luna Ultra, you'll get the throw pod worth $50. The throw pod is extremely useful for quickly setting up the camera anywhere so it can track you. For the Ace Pro 2 and the Go Ultra, you'll get a 2-in-1 mini tripod worth $30, plus another free gift. You'll also get 1 year of free cloud storage with 200 GB. However, you can only get these free accessories by using the links in the description. Special offers and free accessories are currently available for other Insta360 devices as well, such as the X5, the Flow 2 Pro, and the excellent new Mic Pro. I've included links to all these offers in the description below. So who would I recommend the Luna Ultra to? And who should go for one of the two action cameras? If your priority is image quality and you're also interested in filmmaking, then definitely go for the Luna Ultra. It's also well suited as a camera for a YouTube channel. But if you're looking for a camera for vacations or family use, I'd especially recommend the Go Ultra. It's significantly smaller, more affordable, and most importantly, not as fragile. If you'd also like to see a comparison between the Luna Ultra and the X5, check out my detailed video on the topic. And don't forget to give me a like as feedback if you found the video interesting. That helps me with the algorithm. There will be more videos on Insta360 cameras coming soon. So stay tuned and see you next time.